Good morning, everybody. My name is Ursula Tischner. I'm the head of econcept Agency for Sustainable Design, and it's my pleasure to guide you through the day. And I, together with the team of the Sustainability Maker project, would like to welcome you here at this last Sustainability Maker project conference. So far, it's the end of a long period of 3.5 years. And we're happy to celebrate with you the outcome and what we managed to achieve during this project. You will meet the other project partners very soon. They will all come here and we will introduce each other. And but before that, I will give you a little overview about what you can expect from this conference. So the title is Green Economy Through Open Innovation, Sustainability by Collaboration. And this is the program. I think all of you should have the program because we send it around. There is one change. Unfortunately, Mark Tobias, who was talking about new business model innovation for sustainability and collaboration, he can't be here. But we have Arnold Tucker, is actually the hero of the day because he volunteered to jump in and give a presentation that's kind of similar regarding the theme. We will just give him a little bit more time to prepare that. So we will swap the presentation of Dave Boyle with the one from Mark Tobias, and then Arnold Tucker from CML Leiden is actually going to talk about sustainable business models, which I think deserves an applause that he would volunteer to jump in. Thank you very much. So we'll have some keynote presentations in the morning, all circling around design and innovation for sustainability by the crowd by open innovation, and also the green business, like what can we do to use these tools, these methodologies to create a sustainable economy or a green economy. That's the theme of the morning. In the afternoon, we will have a really exciting number of workshops. And these workshops are by the speakers of the morning. They will team up and they will give you some time to also work and explore some of these topics further. Before the workshops, shortly after the break, the lunch break, I will ask you, we will introduce the workshops and I will ask you to pick one. So it would be good to have kind of an equal number of people distributed among the workshops. Water, wonderful, thank you. So we are in a great location. It's the Alte Kongresshalle in Munich, and we are in the forum, the big space over here. That's where we have all the plenary presentations. Then we have cloakrooms and restrooms over here. I'm sure you found them already. This is over here if you go to the entrance and then turn right. This is where our lunch and coffee breaks are. It's the Bavaria Saal, so the actually Wirtshaus here, to that side. And then our workshops will happen here to that side. So we will signpost it also, just that you have an orientation, you know what to expect, where and where to go. Okay. And afterwards, we have a nice get-together, and that's in the Congress Bar, which is a 50s-style bar, so we'll have some snacks and drinks, and you are very, very much invited to celebrate with us the end of this project, so we'll have some fun and get-together after the conference over here. Okay, now, what is this project all about? I'd like to give you a short introduction. When I was teaching at Savannah College of Art and Design in the US, I met Chris Anderson. And Chris Anderson, maybe you know him, he's the chief editor of Wired magazine. And he was talking about the new maker movement and the 3D printing, and that everybody can be a designer and we can all design and print our stuff ourselves. And then he was showing some projects. And what he was showing were toy guns for his kids. So I thought, this is all very exciting. It was back in 2010, but why would he produce toy guns? So you can do much better than that. And so my idea was, let's take all this new movement, this maker, this crowd-based, this open source, and try to figure out what can it do for sustainability, for a world that has so many problems, and can we do try to solve some of these really severe problems with that crowd-based, bottom-up, open-source approach. And that's how I got the idea of applying for a project at the European Union that's called Sustainability Maker, because it combines the maker with the sustainability. And so this is how we got to the opportunity to work on crowd-based radical design and innovation for sustainability. So from that, I'm sure you guys know that we have a lot of very critical issues ahead of us: economic crisis, financial crisis, ecological crisis. But just to wrap that up a little bit, I'd like to show you a couple of slides that talk about sustainability and the state of the planet. Yes, there is climate change. Who of you does not really think that climate change exists? Okay, no one anymore. I'm glad. So this little joke doesn't need to be here, because you guys know there is climate change, it's happening, and the people are part of the problem, so we created. And actually here you can see who are the biggest emitters of CO2, and also the fields where the CO2 is actually created. So we in the European Union are actually a big part of it, even though the US and the China are leaders in that. But still, the European Union has a big contribution to climate change. If you look at not the overall contribution per country, but per capita, the image is a little different. You can see still North America has some big contributions here. Russia is big as well, Japan, and then this is the European Union. So we are part of the big problem of creating global warming. Peak oil and resource depletion is not just climate change, it's not just global warming. We talk about resources and that we're actually overfishing, overdoing almost over everything. We talk about oil, yes, but there are many, many other resources that we're actually physically overusing and running out of it. Same for water. There's a global water crisis. It's not just in Africa and India and Australia, but many, many, many countries in the world have issues with water, fresh water scarcity. And unfortunately, the global balance is out of balance. So many people in so-called developing countries, it's about 70% of the world population, use only very, very little resources. It's indeed us, the guys in the rich countries, the 30% of the population that is using 70% of all the resources. And you can see that the lifestyles of these people in front of their houses with all of their belongings just shows you that the material consumption across the globe is actually very different. If everybody wanted to live like we in industrialized countries, we would actually need 4 planets, and we just have one. So we need to rethink everything that we are doing and basically make more quality out of life, out of less use of resources and energy. And yes, we talk about that for a very long time. There are things like the United Nations, and they have come up with the Millennium Development Goals. Now there's a new series of goals. It's called the Sustainable Development Goals, and they talk about what needs to change socially but also environmentally so that we can live together on this planet in a more equal way. And unfortunately, progress is very, very slow in that respect. And why? Well, I have to say that I think we designers are actually a big part of that problem, because we create communication and products and lifestyles that are very, very unsustainable. The planet cannot carry that many people if everybody wants to have that kind of lifestyle. It's unhealthy for us as well, and not healthy for the planet. So let's try to rethink it, because on top of all that consumption, we're also not really happy people. So it seems that after a specific value, a specific income, that's the happiness, this one is the happiness curve of people in the US, and this one is the income curve, so how much money they earn. So even though people earn more and more and more and more money, they're not necessarily happier people. So material consumption doesn't necessarily make us more happy beyond a specific amount where we say, okay, we have a home and we have something to eat and we have something to wear. But beyond that, maybe there is something else that we need to become more happy people, not just materials and energy. The highest impacts regarding environmental impacts in our industrialized countries in the European Union comes from 3 fields. It's energy and housing, it's mobility and tourism, and it's food and agriculture. And that's about 80% of all the consumption that we create. And this is also why we focus a little bit more on these three domains. So just to summarize this little overview about the issues that we have at stake, which are in front of us, we're trashing the planet, we're trashing the people, and we're not even having fun. So something's really wrong over here. Okay. Now, what we try to do is, we try to involve the crowd. So it starts with the crowd, and it starts with a fish. I will talk about that a little later. So we managed to get a little bit of funding from the European Union. The project started in 2012. And we get 1.2 million euros, but only 50% funding, so 50% has to be brought in by the project partners themselves. It covers preliminary Europe, but as soon as we have the platform published, it's an international project, so it can be used by people all over the world. And this is the project team. Now here I would like our project partners all to come up on the stage so that you can see the faces behind the project and behind the innonatives platform. I introduced myself already. I'm head of econcept. We are managing the project, which was a pleasure and a challenge at the same time. And now I would like to introduce to you the rest of the team. Come here, guys. Aguinaldo, can you stay down there? Okay, so we have the project core team, and that's what you see here on the stage. And I will give you the mic to introduce yourself very quickly.
Yeah, Frits Klaver, Webclusive. We're a crowdfunding specialist and developing the software for innonatives.
Hi everyone, I'm Elisa Bacchetti from Politecnico di Milano, and in this project I collaborated in the sustainability aspect for the challenges.
Carlo Vezzoli, I'm a professor from Politecnico di Milano, and I'm doing what she asked me to do.
Hi, I'm Bonnie. I work in the field of sustainable tourism management focused on small island destinations, and I'm doing research and communications for innonatives.
I'm Werf Schröter from the Forum of Social Technology, Social Formation of Technology, and we are dealing with SMEs, crafts, and people in work.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a hand. Thanks to the team. And wait, not to forget Agi Mehta over here, who is our communication and design person, but he's busy taking pictures and videos.
I just want to have an applause for Ursula Tischner, the head of this unbearable project. She was really challenging us and taking us in a beautiful, enterprises. Thanks a lot, Ursula. Thanks.
Thank you. And why did I send those two guys back down in the floor? Because we have a lovely advisory board, and many of these guys are here as well. So can I please ask all the advisory board members to stand up that are here in this room? Isadora, Aguinaldo, Ernst-Jan van Hattum, Peter Stebbing, Dave Boyle. There are more? Thank you all so much for supporting this project. I think you can go. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, now you know who is behind the project, and I will give you a quick tour through what we have been doing. I talked about the maker movement already, so the question is, how can we use all this creative potential and do something for sustainability? Open innovation is interesting that some people say, oh yes, that's old, but some people have no idea what it is. So a quick definition, Henry Chesbrough actually defined it first, and he said it's innovation that is opened up from a company towards outside actors. So it's like suppliers or customers or clients or other experts that work with you on open innovation as a company. Now we define it even more open, because for us open innovation means an innovation activity that is open to everybody, basically. So it doesn't need to be started by a company. It can be started by a municipality, by a person that has a problem. So in innonatives, everybody can actually participate and start a challenge if there is a serious problem and a meaningful problem to work on. Social change is what we try to look for. We would like to use the power of the community to create radical change for sustainability. It's bottom up, it's social and environmental innovation, technological as well as social, and I think the critical mass is one. So if you have a good problem that you can define and it's meaningful for many people as a person, you can actually start a movement. I think that's the good thing about social media and internet nowadays, that is enabling these kind of things. Like we could see the recent revolutions in the Middle East and in other countries was actually enabled by social media and Facebook and started by actually just a few people. I like this Margaret Mead quote very much. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So let's try to use these great, energetic, creative people, and let's try to make the world a little better, because we can engage the communities, we can engage many people in mobs, in crowd mobs, in activism, in boycotts, in political consumerism, and we can try to change things really bottom up. Now, what we do with the project is actually, we kind of aim for a paradigm shift. We start with a problem. We don't start with a company that wants to earn money. We really start with a real-life problem that many people have, and we involve everybody who has that problem in creating solutions. So it's like a participatory, bottom-up, open design process that we facilitate via the platform. And the co-design, the participatory activity, creates actually more likelihood that we can indeed generate solutions that then are accepted by the people and work in real life. And finally, we would like to make it fun. So yes, it should be not so heavy. Sustainability always is like a burden on our shoulders. If we do stuff together, normally it's more fun, like this Rotterdam dance floor where you dance on the floor and that creates electricity, and so you drive the lights and everything just with the energy that people create by dancing, or the fun theory. That's the aim. So I said we start with a fish. That's the anglerfish. We thought it's a very innovative fish. It's in the deep sea, and it has this little light over here, so it's dark around it, and the light glows, and so the prey comes and wants to see where the light comes from, and when it comes close enough, the fish eats the prey. Okay, not so nice for the prey, but a very intelligent mechanism. So we thought we take this fish and we create the mascot of the innonatives platform, which is actually the anglerfish made up by two chat bubbles, and expresses this innovation as well as the communication and collaboration that we like to achieve on the platform. Who has not yet registered on innonatives? Uh-oh. Okay, please do so if you can. And so have you made some experience? Did you try it already? Did you look at it a little bit? Okay, I will explain very quickly how it works, the process. So what we do is we have 5 modules. This is where the challenge is, where we do the crowdsourcing. So we ask people to define problems and get together to find solutions. We have a module that's called Solution. This is an archive of all the solutions developed here, but also outside of innonatives. You can propose other solutions to go up. If you have a great sustainability project, you can put it here. We have crowdfunding. It has just started. Our first crowdfunding project is online. So you can actually generate funds to fund your sustainability-related projects. And we have an implementation module, which means we archive everything that this platform has achieved in terms of implemented projects. There are already a couple of there, so that's good. And we have a shop, so to trade sustainability solutions among the group, but also to outside actors, so we can implement things by using our own online shop. So basically what we do is we have seekers that have problems, that search for solutions. They formulate challenges, and then we have solvers. That's the creative community everybody can join, that create ideas and solutions, and we bring those together in the crowdsourcing platform. So basically, we have open challenges and closed challenges. Open challenges work like they are visible for everybody. Everybody can propose problems. We do crowd voting to find out which are the most meaningful problems. So we create the challenges that the platform really likes to work on. Then we have crowdsourcing. So everybody develops ideas, joins the project, is creative together. We have an evaluation process where we evaluate by crowd voting again. So the crowd says, hey, we like this project most. And the expert, our international expert system, evaluates in a more maybe thorough or expert way so that we know, okay, we are on the right track. So we identify the best solutions. And 2 mechanisms for implementation: the funding. If the project still needs funding, they can go for the crowdfunding. If the project needs just a shop or a retail system, they can go in the online shop. And so we hope that we create a lot of great solutions at the end and have some success stories. That's the basic process that we run through with our challenges, but you can use the modules individually. So you can only do the crowdsourcing, you can only go for crowdfunding, you can only go in the shop. The only precondition for us is it needs to lead to more sustainability. So we indeed evaluate everything before it can go online. It goes through a kind of sustainability evaluation. It needs to have some sustainability, social or environmental goals in the project. Okay, that was a typical open challenge, meaning everybody can see it, everybody can participate. We adopt a Creative Commons license. Do you know Creative Commons license? Who does not know about it? So what the basic principle is, you can use the ideas of others further. You always have to mention the first person who invented the idea. You can develop it further, mentioning the first person. As soon as you commercialize it, you have to go back to the first inventor and create a kind of agreement, a kind of contract with them. So no commercialization without really going back to the first person who published it online. Okay, closed challenges are different. Closed challenges can, for instance, be by a company who wants to protect intellectual property rights. We took very much care of the IPR, intellectual property rights, in this project, because it's very important that people still can patent things if they do crowdsourcing. So in that case, there is a kind of contract. You have to apply for that challenge. You can only enter if you sign the contract, and then it's clear for everybody that this is a confidential project. And you have some duties, but also get some benefits out of, like, for instance, payment or a contract with a company if they developed your project further. So what kind of challenges are we working on? This is just like an overview. It can actually be everything from a technological project, from a material that is sustainable and needs more application, towards social innovation projects, services are possible, system design. So it can actually be everything, just it needs to be related to sustainability. And now I would like our team, Elisa and Carlo, and Isadora and Aguinaldo. Shall we start with Aguinaldo and Isadora to present some of the challenges that we have managed to carry out in this project?